Welcome to the Exile. I am your host, Daniel P. Finney, graduate student at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. I was a journalist for 23 years, and then I got laid off in the pandemic, and now I'm remaking my life. My friend Memphis Paul will join us shortly as we begin a podcast to explore the fall network television schedule. We will be right back after this lovely song from the Free Music Archive.
They shot her down with her Clyde, her arms full of guns to hold him. They shot her down, oh, to halt their run. In their arms, the name of law unheard. Cause Islam has set one up to the body to check it for a pulse. When he recognized her face, the wages from the whistle stopped back home. Who is she? Who was she?
Network TV series
Is
schedule.
this red light, green light, yellow light?
Sure. We're not going to get into anything that's returning.
Okay.
Just new stuff. And so on ABC, now, of course, we don't know when any of these things are going to premiere or if they're in the can or what, because we've been in COVID lockdown for
Yeah.
for 1,000
what-
years. So
A boom operator has a sniffle, and you cut production for
right,
2 weeks.
no one knows how this is going to go.
The snacks on the craft table have to be spaced out and eventually packaged.
Right. I am sad that I should say anyway. Let's just get at it here. So on Sunday,
All right.
the only new show on the schedule as it is now is a remake of the '80s hit "The Equalizer."
I like the actor from the original one.
That guy's dead, so he's not in it.
I'm just saying, I like that guy, Edward Woodward.
Yeah.
I like Denzel from the movies, the more recent iteration.
Yeah.
I know this is a speed round. Do we know who the lead is? in
Yeah,
this?
it's Queen Latifah as Robin McCall, not you know.
I'm out. She can take a taxi from her movie Taxi.
Yeah.
With,
I will say no more to that other than I am also out.
okay.
But that's fine. You know, good luck to the Queen with the remake of a barely remembered '80s show. The next show, the next day, Monday, there's 2 new programs on the Fox network. The first one is LA's Finest,
Okay.
starring Gabrielle Union
I
and
like her.
Jessica Alba.
She's attractive.
It is a offshoot of the Bad Boys movie franchise. There may have been a TV show, I don't know.
Sure.
It stars Gabrielle Union and then Jessica Alba. That's what we know.
It's either a green light or a yellow light that I'm speeding through to make it through the light.
She Gabrielle Union is playing the sister of the character played by Martin Lawrence
Oh.
on the Bad Boy movies. On the Bad Boys
I
movies.
hope he does a little cameo to start out the series.
Here's how he'll do a cameo: is Fox will project his fake body into the stands at the World
At the
Series.
Dodgers game.
Yeah, at the World Series. They're like, oh, look who happens to be here. stars of our fall lineup,
Yeah.
who have no fucks to give about the actual game, but we have to mention their shows that will be canceled before the
Yep.
end of this game. Anyway, that's a show. I'm out.
Well, I'm in. So
You're not going to watch that. Shut up. Also on Monday night is a show called Filthy Rich. I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't read a single word about this. I'm not going to watch it because I live in the world where the filthy rich live. I don't enjoy it.
no one likes rich people.
Right.
No one likes to talk about money. They did a show called Broke.
Yeah.
With that perky CSI person from.
Yeah, and then they had Two Broke Girls.
Yeah, those are both shows that are gone. This is out.
Well, Two Broke Girls made it to syndication, so good for them. That was that comedian. What's her name?
they
Whitney
say
Cummings.
Not to
That
talk
was her
about
show.
politics or religion, in a family gathering.
Or
These
money.
networks need to do like the Pope.
Yeah.
The 80s, the New Year's, as long as they're doing stuff that's going to fail.
Well, this show stars Kim Cattrall, not Kim Cattrall, Kim Cattrall of Turk 182 fame,
Yes.
and Gerald McRaney. You would remember him.
him.
You would remember him from Simon and Simon and Major Dad.
Yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
I
forgot about the existence.
Final
of Major
season of
Dad.
Deadwood, maybe.
He was in Deadwood. Yeah, that's what I remember. I forgot about Major Dad.
Filthy Rich is an upcoming serialized satirical drama.
Yeah.
By Tate Taylor. I don't know who that person is. It's based on a New Zealand series of the same name. The last good thing to come out of New Zealand was Lord, the pop singer. I don't know.
What about Lord of the Rings? Did you not like any of those movies?
No, I did not.
What about Heavenly Creatures?
I don't even know what that is.
It was a movie, but you didn't watch it.
Apparently not. I'm out on this. I don't even know what it's about. But the premise, here's the premise. Described as a gothic drama in which wealth, power, and religion collide. I am so out.
This will infuriate a lot of people
with outrageously
that are
soapy
on
results.
And watching this as their power goes out because they've lost their benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fail. I think this was.
What about this might
have been pitched before the pandemic?
I think so. The series centers on a mega rich Southern family who made their money with a Christian television network. See, right here you can sense the contempt for people who live in the South and people who believe in Christianity. Like
and rich people. Those three things.
Of those three things, one of them I agree with, but I don't want any part of this. This is cultural warfare. It's like, Southern people are horrible or whatever.
I'm pro Gerald McRaney, but everything else is trash from this.
All right, moving on to Tuesday. There are multiple new shows on the network known as the CW.
All right.
There's a show called The Swamp Thing, which is based on some comics. Here's the weird thing for me. I love comics. I go to the comic store every Wednesday. A house full of trade paperbacks. I have not watched hardly any of these comic shows like The Flash or Arrow or...
All right, well, here's my take. Steve McQueen was in a movie called The Swamp Thing or something like that, The Thing.
Yeah.
One of his kids is an actor.
Steve McQueen was in The Blob.
That's it, The Blob.
Right.
So I hope his kid shows up in this just for...
It stars Crystal Reed, Virginia Madsen, and Andy Bean. For those that don't, the comic is about a scientist who is on the take, and he gets he gets exposed to some chemical. He's killed. He falls into the swamp, and he arises as this sentient plant creature who is and who can communicate and transport anywhere on the earth through the green, meaning he uses,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very fanciful. It's a good comic to read.
You can do that as a druid in Dungeons and Dragons too.
Right. This one stars Andy Bean. I don't know who that guy is.
Virginia Madsen. I think she was one of the women in that movie where the two guys go to Napa Valley.
Yeah, she was in Dune. She was in a lot of stuff. She's been around for a while. She's a good actress.
She and Gerald McCreary can get together and do a good show when these two get canceled.
Here's what I worry about is that the lead is Crystal Reed, and this is not a knock on her. I don't know anything about her, never seen anything she's done, but I know that her big credit is Teen Wolf, not Teen Wolf the movie with Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf the horrible MTV show. Right. That's her big credit. So I look at that and I'm like, no. I wasn't going to watch this anyway, not knowing that. Well,
what's next on the CW?
Then in the winter, we're supposed to have something called Superman and Lois.
I like it.
I'm out because we already had this show. It was called Lois and Clark. It was on ABC. It had Dean Cain and the lovely Terry Hatcher. And I can't imagine that it's going to be... That show wasn't very good, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this is going to be fun. Nothing's fun anymore. Everything's dark and whatever. So,
yeah.
Anyway, that's a red light for me.
I'm open to it.
All right, on ABC on Tuesdays, there's Big Sky.
All right. Montana.
It's a David E. Kelly series, so I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out on that. I'll give you the private detectives Cassie Duell and Cody Hoyt joined forces with his estranged wife and ex-cop Jenny Hoyt to search for two sisters who have been kidnapped by a truck driver on a remote highway in Montana.
That's lazy writing. Big Sky is Montana. Yeah. Cody is a town in Wyoming. This is a sign that David Kelly's lost his fastball.
No, the name of the character is Cody Hoyt.
Yeah, Cody's a town in Wyoming.
Well, the show is set in Montana.
Yeah.
It stars a bunch of people I've never heard of.
A lot of mixed messages here.
May they all do well, and be rewarded for their awesomeness. I will not be watching it. David E. Kelly is really hitting. The only reason I ever watched a David E. Kelly show was Jerry Ryan was in one or two of them. And she was just magnificently beautiful.
Picket Fences, the female cop, was very attractive.
Was that a David E. Kelly show?
It was.
That was Lauren Holly. Yeah, I guess I did like Picket Fences. So, Fox.
Was there another David Kelly before David E. Kelly that he had like George R. Martin? Apparently, George Martin was the manager of the Beatles.
Yeah, that's true.
Was there another David Kelly?
I don't know. I mean, I go by Daniel P. Finney. I assume there are other people named Daniel Finney. I feel like it feels more adult to have a middle initial.
All right. I'm going to insist on my middle initial in the next podcast.
All right.
My introduction.
Paul R. Russell. Is that right?
It's A. You goddamn liar.
Paul A. Russell. All right.
I'll fight you to the death to get my initial right.
It's Alexander, correct?
That's right.
All right. Alexander the Great. Tuesday on Fox, Cosmos, Possible Worlds. This is the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's nice.
It is nice. It's super educational, and I'm not going to watch it. Then they have a show called Next on Tuesdays. Next is a science fiction crime drama created by Manny Cotto. It's supposed to. I don't know. It's set to premiere in October. I don't know anything about it. It doesn't have any other information here. The series centers on the effort of a Homeland cybersecurity team to counter a rogue AI with the ability to constantly improve itself.
Well,
it does have Paul Slattery.
If it ties back to the Lawnmower Man movie, I'm thrilled.
It does have John Slattery, Slattery from Mad Men.
Yeah.
So that's something. Good luck to all of them. I might watch that. Also on Mondays on NBC is Transplant. It's a Canadian medical drama.
Okay.
It's based on the series Bash. I don't know what's going on. Why are we running Canadian television shows? I guess we don't have TV shows of our own. The series centers on Bashir Bash Hamed, a doctor from Syria who came to Canada as a refugee during the Syrian Civil War and is now rebuilding his career as a medical resident in the emergency department at York Hospital in Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true. Oh, and NBC got the broadcasting rights. This may just be a COVID thing. It's like we are not sure how many. No, I'm serious. Like we may not be able to get create our own shows. We're just stealing Canadian shows now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, good for them. I'm not watching that either. I don't watch medical. I rarely watch medical shows. Last medical show I watched regularly was Emergency in the 70s.
My heart goes out to the people in Syria.
Yes.
We screwed those people over as Westerners.
That's fair. Only new thing on Wednesday is called Devils.
All right.
It's a fall show. It's a... let's see if we can get it. The pilot is London 2011. The Italian Massimo Ruggero is the head of trading at the huge American New York London bank. While the financial crisis is raging in Europe, Massimo is making hundreds of billions out of speculation. As his mentor Dominic Morgan, the American CEO of New York Bank London, and the nearest to this is another show about rich people being assholes or what? Who decided we wanted to watch this?
That Baptist rich Christian TV show on Monday night.
No, these are New York assholes and London assholes. Who said, you know what America wants more of right now is rich people being assholes?
This feels like it's very well plotted. Like we've got a lot of specifics to this in the description, but I'm not hearing like a good director or good stars.
The stars Alessandro Borg. He's an Italian guy.
All right.
Kasia Smutnik. She was in Smutniak. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a Polish actress. Speaks Polish, Russian, English, and Italian. She was from Paris in Love. A bunch of other people I've never seen before. Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy is I guess making a comeback. So
sure.
Anyway, it doesn't sound like it's for me. Here is the new shows on Thursday.
All right.
There's one called Be Positive. I got 2 words for you here. Stop me when you've heard enough. Chuck Lorre.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, all right. The series is about a therapist and newly divorced dad with B positive blood who needs a kidney donor. A woman from his past is a match.
Yeah, I don't care. He can die from the lack of a kidney.
Fair. Fair enough.
I will say this for Chuck Lorre. I feel like his stuff has become more and more convoluted. Like, it was 2 men and a baby. All right.
It was 2.5 men. 2.5 men.
All right. Whatever. The title tells me what's going on here. All right. Then it's like Big Bang Theory. Okay, it's a bunch of nerds. Mike and Molly. All right. It's about Mike and Molly. Now we've got Young Sheldon. So we've done time travel. Like you've taken a character from a successful show, and you're just shifting stuff around, and it's Mike Loves and Dalla. Okay, he's taking Mike from this other show. Now he's just doing some new stuff. It's not even the same character, or is that him after he divorced the first person? I don't know. Like this, be positive. I get that it's a pun because I assume he's positive about life. Yeah. But I feel like the themes have become more convoluted.
This feels a little bit. You know what this feels like? This feels like Jane the Virgin, which I thought this was going to be. This was going to be a huge failure and lasted like 4 or 5 seasons. So.
No, I like Jane the Virgin. I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea of a telenovela, just kind of some wild plotting.
It stars a guy from Silicon Valley, Thomas Middleditch. So
we like Beavis and Butthead, and
do we? Yeah. Well, I mean, we do, but we
like Mike Judge.
I'm not gonna watch a Chuck Lorre. I'm done with it.
All right. What he did, Big Bang Theory. You're not forgiving.
It turned into Friends, and it was clearly, clearly they were just making fun of people like me, and I didn't have any time for it.
Well, in defense of Chuck Lorre, I think he started with a fun, likable show.
Sure.
And then it was like, here's a check for the show we want to continue doing.
Yeah.
And you just keep saying no, and then we'll keep adding zeros until you say yes.
Right. Let's break real quick, and we'll get back with the rest of the schedule. That was Good Times by Poddington Bear. Paul is being harassed by a local dog that's broken into his house, chased away his defense cats. He's now sequestering himself.
Paddington Bear?
Poddington, like podcast, but it's Poddington Bear.
As opposed to the Paddington Bear,
Right.
which is named after a bear that was found at Paddington Station.
Yes.
Which is a tube station in London that he got for his kid, or his kid liked.
Yes.
Gotcha.
This is Poddington Bear.
Gotcha.
Is the name of that.
Gotcha.
I don't think we should make fun of the free music artists.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I just didn't get the reference, and now I do.
These are the people who won't sue us, Paul.
I'm like I live in a house. I'm driving a great big car.
Yeah.
That guy, Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, not Peter Gabriel. Gabriel Byrne.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, we were doing the network schedule.
Mm-hmm.
in this special 2-hour edition of the podcast, The Exile, a product of Blue Pill Crow LLC. You may also find our work on paragraphstacker.com. Donations are welcome and encouraged. I'm a poor graduate student now, so anything you can
Blue
do.
Pill Crow is the name that checks should be made out to. Is that correct?
You can, yes, because
people use checks.
it doesn't matter. You can make it out directly to me because I'm the only person on the Blue Pill Crow LLC registered in the state of Iowa. You can look it up. Anyway, here we were in the middle of the Thursday night schedule, and we got on a Chuck Lorre discussion. I want to assure you, Paul, and your mother, Young Sheldon, Mom, the Unicorn, and Evil are all coming back.
Yeah.
So your Thursday night is locked in.
Evil was a show I enjoyed.
All I'm telling you is you're going to be watching Be Positive because it's on after Young Sheldon.
Yeah, I might take a break from life during that 30-minute segment.
I don't know that you will, but you might. Okay, over on the CW, if you wanted to take a break.
Oh, yes.
If you wanted to join Mom at like 8 o'clock Central Time. I want to assure everyone that Paul's just pouring a delicious beverage, not urinating.
It's more Diet Dr. Pepper.
Right. On top of more whiskey.
I might open that bottle.
All right, fair enough. Just so folks at home can get a taste of the rich high life of a rich southern family.
Yep.
Anyway, in the winter, if you're bored with Young Sheldon and Be Positive, you might try out Walker. This is a moment where we can use our classic "Stop me when you've heard enough." Walker is a remake of Walker, Texas Ranger.
I feel like I would have remade other things before I remade that one.
I'm not a big Chuck Norris guy, and it's not anything against Chuck. It's just that there was a period there at the late 90s, early 2000s with the Chuck Norris jokes. You know, that wore me out. And then, like, he was on late night TV with Christy Brinkley with some exercise equipment that I ended up seeing that a lot. I was just tired of the Chuck Norris nonsense. And so, I don't know anything about the guy who's playing this is Jared Tristan Paladaki, Padalecki. He was on Supernatural, which I never watched. And he was also on Gilmore Girls, which I watched some of. Anyway, I don't care. He's a Texas Ranger. He does kung fu, I guess.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see a show about Texas Rangers, but like the back in the day Texas Rangers, you know, the ones.
See, we in Tennessee have a tradition. Buford Pusser of Walking Tall.
Yeah, sure. There's been 2 movies about that guy.
That was from the 70s, and then they remade it with
The Rock.
The Rock, I think.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff I enjoyed. You know, back watching popcorn movies on Sunday.
Yeah.
Those kind of cheesy films. Yeah, I don't know that we need more Walker. I was fine with a remake of the Equalizer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, if there were shows that I'd like to see remade, the A-Team would be on my list.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah. What does the A-Team look like today?
Yeah.
What are they fighting against? Every generation has its.
If no one else can find you, and if you can find them in quarantine, you maybe you can hire the Q team. One of the challenges of remaking the A-Team is the same with all these other fugitive shows. Is it's way harder to hide now.
Well,
like
when the A-Team was happening, it's like
I feel like BA accidentally goes into like one of those DNA testing fields. I want to learn more about my ancestors, and they're like, "Oh, we got a match on Baracus." They catch him immediately.
Back in the old days, it's like some hot chick is like, I'm being hassled.
Yeah.
And Face is gonna make out with her.
Yeah.
Maybe she's got some wacky guy that Murdoch's going to hang out with.
Yeah.
And, here's the barn. It's got a bunch of farm equipment. We're going to fire up the music and get the blowtorch out. Today it's like I got this old cell phone.
We're going to defeat people by shooting cabbages at them. That actually happened. And it was great.
I think there's like some old cell phone and they use it to make some monitoring equipment.
You're talking about the new version.
The new 18. Some cyber guy does something to alter stuff to do something.
First of all, you're not thinking big enough. First of all, the team has to be all women, and 3 of them have to be minorities, and 1 of them can be a white person, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, like one person has to be like a master computer manipulator who's erased all of their records and makes it so that cameras don't pick them up when they're on public streets. And the other thing is, like, they can't drive a van that's distinctive. Like, that never made sense to me even as a kid. Like, if you're trying to hide out from the law, I'm not sure you drive a souped-up, large black van with big red fin on it.
Yeah, that has this stripe down the side vertically.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of not any other van.
It was a horizontal stripe, but I don't think you do that. I don't think you customize your GMC van.
Yeah.
I think you drive garbage cars that are souped up to go fast.
That was the problem with the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard, by the way. Like, if you're up to some mischief.
I want to say one of at least one problem with the General Lee.
I'm just saying, like, that car is distinctive.
Yeah.
Maybe you get like a rusty gray Lincoln, and you change the plates on it each time. You steal one off the street and hotwire it. Yeah,
you get an old Dodge Fury. Then you soup it up. What you want to do is fool people. You don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
I feel we're writing better shows than the networks come out with.
This is how bad Walker is we're talking about how we would remake the A-Team and Dukes of Hazzard. Like, how would you remake Knight Rider?
Our own crappy ideas instead of thinking ahead to watch this reboot.
That's how bad that show is in our minds. So it gets.
All right, let's return to the real world.
It gets 0.
What's the crap that's coming?
Well, here we go. Also Thursday night on NBC. Okay. Is Stop Me When You've Heard Enough, Law and Order, Organized Crime.
Dick Wolf might be a sponsor. We've already mentioned him a couple times. I'm all on board if we can get some funding.
I guess they're going after the mob now.
What's his fantasy? I cut you off. Law and Order, New York, L.A., Detroit.
Well, Christopher Meloni,
Cyber Victims Unit.
No, this is the Organized Crime Unit.
Oh.
They're going after the mob. Or
great.
gangs or whatever. I don't know what they do. Here's what we know is that Christopher Meloni is coming back as Elliot Stabler. Christopher Meloni left to focus on his movie career, and that turned out to be shit. So 9 years later, he's back doing another goddamn SVU.
Are they getting the redhead from NYPD Blue season 1?
I don't know who that is, but he's the only announced cast member. Here's how bad this show is at NBC. They haven't even created a Wikipedia page for it yet. It's just a spin-off mentioned at the bottom of the Law and Order SVU page.
Look, when you can get Dick Wolf to sign a piece of paper that he's going to do something, you do it. Wikipedia page be damned.
That's not true, because he remade Dragnet on ABC with Ed O'Neill as Joe Friday, and it was terrible.
Well,
I actually liked Ed O'Neill as Joe Friday, but the rest, the like halfway through the season, they kept rotating partners through, and they were like, we'll try a female partner, we'll try a different minority partner. I don't know.
Can they bring in the dog from K9? We'll put him in. I don't know.
The dog from Doctor Who, K9. Affirmative, master.
I think there was a movie K9. There was Turner, Hooch, and K9.
I think you're right.
It was the dog equivalent of Prefontaine.
I got to say, that was one of the first times when those movies came out. That was one of the first times where, as a boy, you realize not every movie that goes out is good. Because we didn't go to the theater a lot when I was a boy, but when we did, it was a really big deal. And so it would be something like Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars, and you'd be like, "Holy cow, the movies are awesome!" And so you expected that feeling every time, and then you go to a movie like
Spielberg doesn't make every movie,
right? So then you go to a movie like Hook, and you're like, "What? This was great, right? I love this, right? This is the best." No, it's not. It wasn't very good at all.
I want clarification. So K9. The clue that this might not be good, it was the title, it was the fact that there was 2 police dog movies in the same year.
I don't know.
Just the poster. All those things together.
I'm going to look this up because I don't remember. It's first of all, the first clue, and no offense to your mom, who's a big fan of According to Jim, but it starred James Belushi.
Right.
So that was one sign. Then it was another guy with a dog doing human things. That would be another clue. And it came out in 1989, the same year that Turner and Hooch came out.
Right.
But Turner and Hooch at least had Tom Hanks.
Sure.
And that dog was a big slobbery dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but it was a big slobbery dog.
Yeah.
I think it was a Mastiff, maybe. Neither one of these, it just seemed dumb. And it was one of those moments, and I guess I would have been in high school by then, but it just was one of those moments where, like, this wouldn't be worth it.
What's that?
These movies.
15 minutes or so, and you can take the baby and get her out from under my feet.
We've got,
that cat's been fed from here to Sunday.
Where is this cat?
I don't know. It's probably on the other side of the door. I really want you.
That was a bit of real life then.
We had a random cut of domesticity from your life, and I'm just going to leave that in because I'm way too lazy to edit that closely. Anyway, Law and Order, Organized Crime. Here's what I'll do. I'll watch like 25 of them when they're on TNT in a year.
I hope in the pilot they get in a time machine and go back to the 70s when we cared about The Godfather and Casino and
when there were Italian gangs. Yeah. Also, new on the CW on Friday night, which I don't think anybody watches TV on Friday anymore.
Because they're going out.
Oh wait, maybe we should start programming stuff on Saturdays again too. World's Funniest Animals. Here's the question that I've had for many years, which is like this has been 30 years of. I don't know. I'm not even going to click on it. I feel like if I click on this, if I know anything about David Letterman, which I don't, but if I did, I would assume that he's the kind of hypochondriac who's like wearing a mask in a closet under some kind of cone of shield, holding his wife and child, waiting for the virus to pass.
This is a mask that fits over his massive beard.
He may have grown more beard and flipped it up over his face and stapled it to his forehead to further filter the air from getting, because he's a known hypochondriac. So
fair enough.
I feel like this is a tough time for Dave. I don't think he would risk it for World's Funniest Animals. The question I have though is they've been doing this America's Funniest Home Videos for like 35 years.
Have they found it?
Yeah, have they found the funniest one?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a final end point to this? Can we go to the judges? Is the French judge holding out on this? What's happening?
The funniest one was from that bit from that British show with John Cleese with the little paintings that they would filter out from the London Museum.
Are you talking?
Monty Python.
You're talking about Monty Python. You couldn't think of the name Monty Python?
Well, I mean, we've figured it out. We worked through it.
All right, fair point.
So the funniest joke they used to defeat the Germans, right?
Yeah.
But they did this skit on it. That's fact.
That wasn't Monty Python. That was Faulty Towers.
Okay. Whatever. It's the same. It's all one.
Paul, I got one thing to say to you. One thing.
Those guys are too rich to sue us, by the way.
Yeah. I recommended that John Cleese series to you.
You did.
But I've got one thing to say to you. I guess we can close the book on that one. That's it. That's all the new shows. Well, wait a minute.
We didn't look at Saturday, but
there's nothing new on Saturday. Let's see.
Yeah.
There's a new series that hasn't been put on the schedule yet on...
Can we tease next week's podcast?
No. We can.
Because I feel like we should talk about our favorite theme songs, TV theme songs.
I would love to do that.
That no longer exists.
Right. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I will make a list of Mike Post themes for you immediately. Let's not get into it now. We've still got some shows here.
Oh, okay.
They're not on the series. They're not on the schedule yet, but there's going to be a new on the ABC, The Bachelor Summer Games. I hate these shows. I hate everything they're about. I hate the social degradation that comes from, and I just hate. More than that, I hate the people who talk about them like it's worth talking about.
Yeah. Well, you're in grad school now, so you're going to be hearing this. But the thing that I've disliked is the ones that have already come out, Big Brother and Love Island. That stuff we're seeing as we watch network TV on Thursday night. So this will be another one. Great.
Right. There is a show called Call Your Mother. It follows an empty nest mother who decides to be close to her children by moving cross country in order to be with them, much to their chagrin. Aren't you kind of living that?
Everyone Loves Raymond. Hello. We made that one.
Generation Gap is so little hyped that it doesn't have a Wikipedia page. That's also, and then there's a show called The Hustler. I'm going to say this right now, ABC. Right now, I don't know anything about this, but if you start screwing with those Paul Newman movies, we're going to have a conversation. You and me, we're going to have a conversation, ABC. That's what's going to happen. All right.
Who plays Paul Newman and who plays the other guy?
So crummy.
Fans.
It doesn't have. Oh wait, here we go. Craig Ferguson hosted Mystery Game Show. You know what? I'm not going to watch that. Like all the other things that Craig Ferguson did.
You know what you're going to watch? You're going to watch the one episode that relates to Doctor Who because he's a big Doctor Who fan.
That's true. I did like Craig Ferguson. I should take that back. I did enjoy Craig Ferguson on the Late Late Show.
Yeah, you won't be able to help yourself from watching the one Doctor Who themed episode.
I will, because here's what'll happen. It'll happen, I won't know about it, but then it'll show up like in my Twitter feed, and I'll watch the clip about Doctor Who and then move on.
Okay.
The mystery-themed game show, The Hustler. Also on the CBS schedule at some point next year is Clarice. It's a show based on the life of Clarice Starling, the character from Silence of the Lamb. The lead actress is someone named Rebecca Breeds.
I tell you, Dan, I've only recently been rewatching on the Netflix.
Yeah.
The
Hannibal.
Hannibal, yes. Yeah. So if it's by that same guy, I'm probably in. I won't be able to help myself.
Yeah.
It's just right up my alley.
On the CW, but not on the schedule yet, is Kung Fu. It's the third generation of
songs from the past.
Yeah, that's a good one. Save that for next week. Save that juice, Paul. Don't squeeze it all out in one glass.
Right.
Kung Fu is an upcoming martial arts action adventure series that is the third iteration of the original Kung Fu. There was also Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
Sure.
David Carradine is dead, so I don't know what's going to go on there, but I
don't care. I'm watching. I'm in.
Yeah. There's also the Republic of Sarah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find out any information on this. The Republic of Sarah tells the story about what happens when the bucolic tranquility of Greylock, New Hampshire. I don't care. I'm out.
I haven't heard a phrasing describing a show or movie is contrived as the description for
as bucolic tranquility.
No, I'm just saying like that phrasing was as contrived as the competitive world of jazz band or whatever it was for that Whiplash movie.
Oh yeah, the cutthroat world of competitive jazz band. Yeah, that was one of the writers of Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
This is some evil mining company comes to this New Hampshire town with plans to extract a special mineral. Then the plans include wiping Greylock off the map. With her friends and family in danger of losing their homes, rebellious high school teacher Sarah Cooper vows to stop the mining company's bulldozer.
I tell you, Dan, this is cultural appropriation.
Wait, there's more, Paul. There's more. After Sarah and her friends win the vote, a federal judge agrees that Greylock isn't and never was part of the United States, and the town becomes a new nation.
Right.
I saw this episode of Family Guy like 15 years ago when Peter declared his house.
With Texas?
Yeah.
Hey, we raise our hands.
Yeah.
Or do we sign up for that? We got a special memo on the ground.
Yeah.
It's called Texas Tea.
Now Sarah and her allies must confront an even more daunting task: building a country from scratch.
Jericho did that. I think it was a nuclear strike as opposed to a lawsuit.
This is.
Are we
here's
in
what.
On this? Are we going to do a weekly podcast on this show? I feel there's so much here.
Yeah.
On this.
Here's the thing about Sarah Cooper. She's a rebellious high school teacher. I'm studying to be a high school teacher, not a rebellious one. In no way am I going to be a rebellious one. Potential employers, but if I end up, I'm worried now. If I end up having to stop bulldozers and build my own country, I'm in no shape for that. I barely could pay the tow truck or the locksmith guy last night. Like there's.
Well, yeah, you're spending a lot of time grading papers.
Yeah.
When I hear the words rebellious school teacher,
yeah,
the phrase that was not said but should be said is rebellious school teacher and independently wealthy person.
Right.
Because she's going to be fired.
Rebellious is not on Fox. Fox has the most new shows.
Oh.
Well, maybe NBC. NBC has a lot of new shows that don't have descriptions. That's how bad they are. But they have a show called Call Me Cat. Call Me Cat follows a 39-year-old woman called Cat who struggles every day against society and her mother to prove that you cannot have everything you want. Oh, God.
Is this pulled from Kathy,
who cares?
The comic strip?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That description gave me diarrhea. Then there's The Great North, which takes place in Alaska. There was only one good show in Alaska, and it was that Northern Exposure show with the doctor who had to go up there, and there was that super hot lady and the Native American.
Ice Flow Truckers, was that a good show?
You watched more of it than I did. Here's hope. Here's the description. The Great North takes place in Alaska, where a single dad, Beef Tobin, juggles his life keeping his kids close together, including being involved in his daughter's artistic dreams in the local mall.
Right.
Here's the only reason I would say this show has a shot. Beef Tobin is played by the magnificent Nick Offerman.
Oh, yeah.
I would give that a shot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Housebroken is another Fox series.
Yeah.
Stop me when you've heard enough. Housebroken follows an anthropomorphic therapy dog. Oh, you want me?
I don't know what that word means.
It means like, Bugs Bunny, like an animal that you give human characteristics to.
Okay.
An anthropomorphic therapy dog. You want me to keep going? I can't believe it.
I just want to know where this goes. It's like you slow down to see a train wreck. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Is there broken femurs that I can see?
Any detached parts. An anthropomorphic therapy dog named Honey, who explores human dysfunctions and neurosis by applying her knowledge of psychiatry through leading a group of other anthropomorphic neighborhood animals in group therapy sessions.
All right, so I'm in the pitch room.
Yeah.
So I'm pitching this to the network. This is Roger Rabbit meets Dos Machina.
Yeah.
What's the third show that it meets? A therapy show, maybe? Like.
Well, they had a show like this on ABC called Downward Dog. It starred I forget the name, Allison Tolman. She was the sheriff's deputy in the first season.
Allison Tolman.
We do. I do. She was the sheriff's deputy who solved the case in the first season of Fargo.
Right.
On FX. And she played like a single woman who had a dog, and I watched a couple episodes. I actually made Allison Tolman mad when I tagged her in a Twitter post where I said, "Why are you in this terrible show?" or something like that. But anyway, this sounds like that show, which didn't make it. So I don't know.
Everyone needs to make rent.
That's true. I know that more than you. I Can See Your Voice is an upcoming music game show. I've said all that needs to be said about that. Here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows scheduled for NBC that don't have a Wikipedia page.
Wow.
There's something called Connecting, which is from the Blind Spot creator. Let's see. There's Home Sweet Home. It's a unscripted social experiment series. That sounds bad.
It sounds like it's set in the South, but.
Kenan Thompson gets his own show called The Kenan Show. That's the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
Sketchy Times with Lily Singh.
Was Kenan Thompson in Good Burger, or am I thinking of different people?
I don't know, because I don't know what Good Burger is. Sketchy Times with Lily Singh. This sounds like a variety show. I don't know. It's a 2-part series. Small Fortune. I don't know what that is, but it's another money show. This is the theme of all the shows about money.
Yeah.
That's My Jam. I don't know what that is.
It's the Smuckers family.
I hope so. I would watch that. True Story, which I can only assume is some horrible show about murder, like real life murders, because that's what people listen to. If we made this podcast about murders, we'd have at least 27 listeners.
I hope True Story is followed by fake news.
Yeah.
That's the next show.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? And then Young Rock, which is a show about the life of Dwayne Johnson as a boy.
Wow.
Here are the shows that do have Wikipedia pages. Debris, another NBC show. These are all NBC shows.
And maybe related to rocks.
Debris is a show. The series follows the lives of two agents from different countries and two different mindsets who must work together as a team when wreckage from a destroyed alien spacecraft has mysterious effects on humankind. You know, I remember this show when it was...
It was called V, wasn't it?
I remember the show when it was called The X-Files with David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. This one stars Ryan Steele. And
you know I have problems with my memory, Dan. So,
I do.
So try not to make fun of me. But there was a movie, and then there was a TV show, and it was set. The TV show was set in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The aliens had like these big heads.
They were
not like the cone heads.
The aliens were lizards.
Yeah.
You're talking about V.
It was like water affected them like acid.
Oh, you're talking about Alien Nation. You're talking about Alien Nation. Yeah.
That's what this show is. Two different cultures, and they're solving crimes.
Except
that was Alien Nation.
That show was better.
Show.
This is just like a British person, like an MI6 operative and a CIA operative, and their handler.
I'm just saying, my response to this show is go watch Alien Nation. It was a fun. Fun
my response is to go watch The X-Files. Or V. Or any other show that we mentioned. But Debris sounds dumb. There's a show called Mr. Mayor.
Oh.
It's the show... Listen to this. Mr. Mayor will show the life of wealthy businessmen, played by Ted Danson. What is with this wealthy businessman thing?
Can we just replay Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous from the 70s?
Can't we just watch Dallas? Is Dallas streaming somewhere? That was the rich people we wanted to watch.
Knots Landing had some rich people in it.
Right. Ted Danson, who runs for mayor of Los Angeles for all the wrong reasons. It's written the show is written by Tina Fey.
I'm going to say this. Ted Danson plays a terrific, snotty rich guy. He's been in other roles where he's like, this frittata, I want it with this or that. He sounds very convincing as a snobbish rich guy.
He does. And so do we all. I love Ted Danson. He's been in a lot of good shows. He was in that The Good Place. That was good. Cheers was okay.
Cheers was a good comedy.
It was okay. It was not nearly as great as everybody made it out to be, but it was okay.
To be a good comedy.
The show
it was on forever.
I think it was 6 or 7 years. It wasn't that long. Anyway, whatever.
Well, then there was Frasier and Wings.
He wasn't on those shows.
I'm just saying, but there was a legacy.
All right. The show is written by and created by Tina Fey, whom I like a lot, and Robert Carlock, who I don't know. He did 30 Rock, I think.
Great.
Anyway, that's a show that's coming to NBC at some point when the pandemic clears. Paul, that's all we got. This was fun.
Sure.
Regardless if the Loyal 21 sticks with us or not, this was fun. It's always good to talk to my dear friend Paul, the Sultan of Spreadsheets, Memphis Paul. Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
You want to sign it off?
Be kind and behave.
All right. I guess we can close the book on that one.